Have you ever seen someone you love just completely exhausted? That look in their eyes when they're pushing past their limits day in and day out? I saw that look in my mom's eyes every single day. She was a superhero, juggling 2 jobs just to keep a roof over our heads and food on our table. Morning until night, it was a relentless cycle of work, commute, and chores. Her hands, which once held me so gently, were now rough and tired. Her smile, which used to light up my world, was becoming rarer, often replaced by a weary sigh. It broke my heart. I was young, but I wasn't blind. I knew she was doing it all for me, sacrificing her own comfort, her own dreams, so that I could have a future. I'd watch her fall asleep on the couch, too tired to even make it to her own bed. And in those quiet moments, a resolve started to build inside me. I couldn't just stand by and watch. I had to do something. I had to change our story. So I made a secret plan. I knew she'd protest, tell me to focus on my studies, but I was determined. I started looking for work. It wasn't easy, being young and with little experience, but my motivation was a powerful force. Eventually, I landed a job as a waiter at a local diner. The hours were long, the work was demanding, and my feet ached constantly. But every time I felt like giving up, I'd picture my mom's tired face, and it would fuel me to keep going. During the day, I was serving tables, refilling coffees, and cleaning up spills. I learned to smile even when I was exhausted, to be polite even when customers were difficult. Every tip, every dollar of my paycheck was a small victory. I'd come home pretending I'd just been at the library or a friend's house. Hiding my fatigue was the hardest part. I'd see the worry in her eyes when I looked a little pale or tired, and I'd have to brush it off with a joke or a story about a tough exam. But waiting tables wasn't enough. The goal I had in mind was big, almost impossibly so. So, I added another layer to my secret life. At night, when my mom was finally asleep, my second shift would begin. I'd power up my old laptop and dive into the world of online freelancing. I did everything I could find: data entry, writing small articles, transcription, whatever paid. My bedroom became my secret office. The glow of the screen was my only light, and the quiet hum of the computer was my only companion. Sleep became a luxury. I was burning the candle at both ends. There were nights I'd nod off at my desk, waking up with a stiff neck and keyboard marks on my cheek. School became a struggle. It was hard to focus in class when my mind was buzzing with orders and deadlines, and my body was screaming for rest. My grades slipped a little, and my teachers noticed. They'd ask if everything was okay at home. I'd just nod and promise to do better, the weight of my secret pressing down on me. The deception was the heaviest burden. I hated lying to my mom. She was my best friend, the person I told everything to. But I knew this surprise, this goal, had to be a secret. If she knew the lengths I was going to, she'd put a stop to it immediately and probably take on a third job herself, which was the last thing I wanted. So I kept my head down and kept working, channeling all my energy into this single crazy dream. I opened a separate bank account, and every penny I earned went straight into it. Watching the balance grow, slowly but surely, was the most motivating thing in the world. It started as a few $100s, then 1,000, then several thousand. It wasn't just money, it was a physical representation of my effort, my sacrifice, and my love for my mom. Each deposit was a brick, and I was building something, one brick at a time. There were moments of doubt, of course. Moments when I'd look at the real estate listings and the prices would seem so astronomical, so out of reach that I felt like I was just a kid playing a foolish game. The exhaustion would hit me like a wave, and I'd think, what am I doing? This is impossible. But then, I'd see my mom wince as she stood up, her back aching from a long day, and my resolve would harden like steel. This wasn't just for her, it was for us, for a future where she could rest. After nearly 2 years of this double life, the day finally came. My savings account had reached the magic number. It wasn't a fortune, not by a long shot, but it was enough. Enough for a down payment on a small, simple, but clean and safe home in a quiet neighborhood. A place with a little patch of grass out front and a window in the kitchen that let the morning sun stream in. It was everything our cramped, drafty apartment wasn't. My hands were shaking as I signed the papers. This piece of paper represented countless hours faders, thousands of online tasks, and an ocean of love. The realtor handed me the keys, and they felt impossibly heavy in my palm. They weren't just keys to a house. They were the keys to a new life, to my mom's peace and comfort. The surprise had to be perfect. I told my mom I wanted to take her out for a special dinner to celebrate my good grades. She was so happy, so proud, completely unsuspecting. I drove, but instead of heading to a restaurant, I took a detour. I pulled up in front of the small, unassuming house. A simple red ribbon was tied around the doorknob. "What's this, honey? Did one of your friends move here?" she asked, looking around, confused. I couldn't speak. My throat was tight with emotion. I just took her hand, led her up the short walkway, and placed the keys in her palm. "This isn't for a friend, Mom," I managed to say, my voice thick. "It's for you. It's for us. It's our home." She just stared at the keys, then at the house, then back at me, her brow furrowed in disbelief. "What are you talking about? How?" And then I told her everything. The waiter job, the late nights online, the secret bank account, the 2 years of hiding. As I spoke, her eyes filled with tears. But they weren't tears of sadness or worry. They were tears of overwhelming shock, pride, and a love so deep it was breathtaking. She didn't scold me. She didn't get angry. She just pulled me into the tightest hug I have ever received. She held me and sobbed, repeating, "My boy, my hard-working boy." We stood there, on the doorstep of our new home, holding each other. In that moment, all the exhaustion, all the secrecy, all the sacrifices melted away. It was all worth it. We walked inside, and her wonder grew with every step. She ran her hand along the clean kitchen counter. She looked out the window at the small yard. She pictured where her favorite armchair would go. For the first time in years, I saw that old, familiar light return to her eyes, brighter and more beautiful than ever. That night, we didn't eat a fancy dinner. We ordered a pizza and ate it on the floor of our empty living room, laughing and dreaming and planning our future. It was just a small house, but to us, it was a palace. It was a home built not just with wood and nails, but with sacrifice, determination, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her son. And I knew, watching my mom's joyful, tear-streaked face, that I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this part of my life with you. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I'll see you in the next video.